Cook that there. Well, I've been up for 8 seconds and nobody's in chat. That's disappointing. Thought you guys would be here quicker than that. The fuck? I'm here. I showed up on Sunday afternoon. I told you guys I'd be here. Wasn't lying. A lot of times I say I'll show up, but I don't. But I do. But I did today. I'm here. Connor, I fucking know. Dude, I know. Right off rip, dude, I fucking know. 2.5 minutes into the first. And fucking Charles's eyes to God, he's just out. Dude, that hurt my feelings last night. That hurt my feelings to see that fight. That was... It's hard to deny Topuria at this point. Tears through Volkanovski, tears through Holloway, tears through Oliveira up a weight class at 55. And we all know Oliveira's a fucking nasty lightweight. What do you say about that? Redbeard Mortis, fucking history was made. The 10th ever fighter to hold gold in 2 weight classes happened last night. He now is Ilia Topuria is now a featherweight and lightweight champion. Only 9 other people have managed to pull that off in 2 weight classes. It's not an easy feat. It's hard to do it at 1 weight class, much less go up or down 10 or 15 pounds and do it there too. It's fucking savage is what that is, especially being the average lightweight is 5'10" and Topuria is like 5'6". He's small for a featherweight. So to go up there and knock out the number 1 lightweight in the world, that's a bad motherfucker. What is up, guys? We here. We baby Seamus, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Love it. Ripper for our boy, absolutely. We haven't even got into the stream. Let's take a ripper for Mr. Oliveira, because it was that hurt my feelings. I genuinely thought Charles was going to be back atop the hill at 155, and I thought it was going to be, a fight through Murderer's Row. 155 is nasty. 155 and 45 are like the 2 nastiest weight classes, as far as I'm concerned. They carry knockout power. They carry real speed. It's not like watching light heavyweights or heavyweights, which, of course, they have fantastic knockouts, but the speed of a lightweight or a featherweight, coupled with their power and their wrestling, nasty weight classes. Crazy fight, crazy outcome. Never expected to see Charles on the ground, just eyes up like that. Never thought that was going to happen, especially after Topuria called it out. Let's get our pins out, let's get them warm, and let's give a ripper for Charles Oliveira. Our boy didn't get it done last night. It's a fucking shame, but I guess anything can happen in our beloved sport of mixed martial arts. Let's go, guys. Here we go. Beep, boop. It's our first one of the night, our first one of the afternoon. This one's going to be a little bit different stream than usual. Like I said, we'll do Sunday stream. Won't be long. We're just going to do a quick... Oh, hang on. Let me get it on the right screen. I totally was not watching an NSYNC video prior to starting the stream. Totally wasn't. I was doing research. But, let me... Hang on. Get up there. Okay, I'm up there. We're going to do a Chris Chan video. You made money on the fights. Good for you. Good for you. I wouldn't have. If I would have bet on it, I wouldn't have. I'd have lost. Pantoja defending. I was pretty content with that. I wasn't really surprised. Pantoja is a bad motherfucker at 125 pounds. There's not many like him. Plus, Kai Kara France is kind of small. He's more of like a 115, if we're being completely honest. He's tiny. But I think Pantoja just showed that he is at the top of the heap at 25, and he's going to be there for a minute. He's going to look like the next Mighty Mouse. He's the Mighty Mouse of this generation. Like he's a very special fighter. A lot of guys get gold and they defend it once and drop it But Pantoja, he's on a fucking streak, and he's tearing through that division. He's making it look easy. He's lapping these dudes. That's very impressive. Yeah, Joshua Van, he showed up for sure. He showed up. I thought it was going to be Roy Vol. No, Van showed up for sure. It was a good card. What I watched here on stream, and then after we got off last night, I went and finished them. They were good. They were good fights. I said, totally surprised by Charles. Was not expecting that outcome. Hey, can you click the fan?
Yeah, sorry, that's cold.
That's okay.
You want the fan on?
Yes, please. I didn't even think about it. I don't want to have any fucking gnats again, like last night. Pissing me off. But anyways, yeah. Didn't see Charles going down like that. I never thought that was going to be the outcome. But anything can happen in this sport. So what's next? Does he defend at 55, or does he take a fight at 70 and then try to chase Islam down? Because I thought that's why the whole point of him vacating 45 was so he could go up specifically to go after Islam at 55. And then it was, like less than a week after Topuria vacated that Islam vacated so he could go after Jack Della Maddalena up at 170 and leaving us with a vacant 55-pound belt, vacant 45-pound belt that Alexander Volkanovski now holds. And that, the 55 got contested last night with Topuria and the number one contender. So, yeah, just curious where we go from here. Topuria, yeah, I would like to see him go with Armin or Gaethje. I'd be good with either one of them. Armin's good for sure, but Gaethje's willing to go to war. That's why everybody loves him. He's willing to just swing for the fences and trade leather. It's every casual's favorite style of fighting. Just head down and go to war, which they're fun to watch. They're the funnest fights to watch, but they're strategically not smart. It's how you end up talking like that. It's not good. Not good for your brain. How expensive are the pay-per-views? They're like $80, I think. I think like $74.99 or $79.99. I don't know. They're ridiculous expensive. Way too expensive to be paying for. Don't do that. When I first started watching them, they were like either $49 or $54.99. So they've almost doubled in price since I started watching. The only man who could stop Topuria is Nate. God. Nate's a special guy. Nate's a special guy. Let's leave it at that. Very entertaining fighter, though. Him and his brother both. Anybody else think Nate looks like a bag of milk when he fights at 170 pounds? He just looks pudgy. But whatever. There's streaming links available, like Stream East, Sports East, that you can watch whatever kind of sports you're interested in. Join our Discord. We'll discuss it further in there. I can give you some directions. Or hit me up on Instagram or whatever. And it's easy enough to find. Yeah. Easy enough to find, and you don't have to spend almost $100 to watch your favorite fighter get knocked out. So at least it'll be free. All right, guys. Today, we are going to be jumping into our second episode of our Chris Chan series, Comprehending a Comprehensive History. This is part 2 from Geno Samuel's 85-part series on Chris Chan. Shouts out to Geno Samuel 2.1. Go check out his channel, give him a like and subscribe. Definitely worth it. He has definitely earned those likes and subscribes. With all the effort and time he put into this series, well worth it. Very informative. We're all going to learn a lot. I'd made videos on this series and we got 37, 38 episodes in and stopped doing that. I kind of got distracted with Cyrax, yada, yada, yada. Thought it would be fun to pick up the series But I figured rather than just pick it back up at episode 37 or 38, we could start back at the beginning, all watch it together on stream rather than a video series. We can all learn at the same time. We can all be reacquainted with the enigma known as Chris Chan. We can all do it together, all at the same speed. This week is episode 2. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get on into it. And you guys should be on the lookout because you're going to see me live a lot more this week, especially. I told you guys it was going to be a video heavy week, and going to be a lot of live too. There's some unexpected time has arisen. So there'll be some more streaming, hopefully tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. We'll see about definitely Wednesday with myself and the real Chance Wilkins co-hosting. So it's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a good time. Acetone, glad to have you here, my friend. Turbo Ninja, good to see you. Okay. Looks like the gang's here. Gang's all here. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a little bit different than usual. Oh. Never mind. Where did we end up on numbers last night?
You said 5 something.
511?
Yeah, I think so.
511. I think last night, as of last night, we ended with 511 members. Right there. Just give it a second. There you go. Okay.
Where's it show it at on here?
Go to revenue, bottom right. You gotta look for memberships. Up. Right there.
452.
So it hasn't added last
So
night.
it went, no, it hasn't added.
Okay, well, my YouTube creator studio hasn't updated everything as of right now, but I believe we left off last night with like 511 members. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. And today's a good Sunday. We went to the local pool. Holy shit, there's a lot of people there. Not for me. I sat out front and had a little mini panic attack. Wasn't for me. Not my type of crowd. Way too many people. Makes my heart race. And not in the fun way. Not in the drugs kind of way. Like the scary way. The scary way that makes you like, feels like the world's closing in on you. Way too many fucking people. But my son got to go swimming, and I figured when we got back, we had some time. So let's bang out this stream. Let's watch this episode. And then we've got my son's second private class tonight. Go do some kickbox or MMA or something. And then, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. So we're going to be doing this a lot. All right, I'm done yapping. Let's take another ripper, and then we'll start this episode. That good with everybody? That's good with everybody. Social anxiety, absolutely, dude. Yep. I don't do well with it. I can go places with people. I'm all right. But when we're all like in a small area, like in a closed off pool with the fence around it, I don't like it. I don't want to be in there. My heart races. I feel like I'm in a panic. It feels like I want to put my back on the fence so that everybody's in front of me or to the side. Nobody can sneak up on me. Yeah, but if it's a big open place, it's not so bad. When people are more spread out, it's not that big a deal. I'd rather not be closed in tightly with other people. I would much rather just be alone. Okay, let's take our ripper. I don't know what this is. That's the same apple fritter from yesterday. Okay. Let's get our pins out. Let's get them warm. Let's get them hot and ready. Let's do all the things. Do a double ripper? Let's do a double ripper. All right, we'll do a double ripper and kick this video. Here we go. What? There we go. Okay. One gorilla. 100 gorillas or one topiary? I don't know. That really is the question of the day, isn't it? I don't know. I guess after last night, I guess my money's going to have to be on topiary. I really was not feeling the topiary hype train, but I know it's hard to deny it. It's hard to deny it. Anyways, okay, let's kick this video. I got closed captions on for us if we need it. Let's get it. Here we go. What was that? What was that little glitch?
What made him this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Every time I see this picture, it's unsettling. Knowing what he did, and still his favorite things in the world are toys. It's Legos and Sonic, dude. Video games. It's weird how his mind works. The childlike looking at the toys, playing with the toys. Look at the amount of money that he spent on those toys. And at the same time, he's an incestuous rapist. Psycho.
In the year 2000, the Chandlers came back to their family home in Ruckersville, and in August, at the behest of his parents, Christian began attending Piedmont, Virginia Community College, where the highest level degree students could attain was an associate degree. Perhaps spellbound by illusions of grandeur, Chris chose to study marketing, but Bob quickly transferred him to a computer-aided drafting and design degree, in the hopes that it would be a better fit for his challenged son and his future. According to the PVCC handbook of the time, this was a 2-year degree, worth 15 credits. In addition, he took English classes and even a tennis class. Apart from study, he continued to develop his Pokemon website and added more cards to his wall of originals, creating cards representing, among others, his beloved Sonichu. In October, he launched Quick's Sonichu site, a website devoted to his original character. Over the course of the year, the Sonichu family grew. He created Soni, Sonichu's pre-evolutionary form, and dedicated a trading card to him. He also gave Sonichu a female companion, Rosechu, based on Amy Rose from the Sonic franchise. After high school, contact with his gal pals was lost, apart from Kelly. He claimed to have called her every weekend for about a year.
Oh my god, dude. Can you imagine Chris calls you every weekend for a year? Why is his tie so short? It doesn't look right. I don't know if I wear mine right. I wear mine so it's the tip of my belt goes right to my belt, or the tip of my tie goes right to my belt when I wear a tie. Looks like Chris doesn't know what the fuck he's doing here. Doesn't surprise me.
Christmas of that year.
Oh shit, look at that haircut. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing that people did this to their kids and then sent them out the world and they were just like, good luck. I mean, just fuck your hair up and just best of luck to you.
Here, Christian made her a CD entitled Songs for Kelly as his gift. He incorporated a mini Sonichu into the artwork.
Songs for Kelly?
Winter of 2000 is also significant, for that was when Chris created his Sonichu medallion, made of Crayola Model Magic and acrylic paints. Late 2000, I bought some Crayola Model Magic clay and I molded and crafted the first original Sonichu medallion that I wore around my neck, with a makeshift chain, which I later replaced with a better necklace I bought from Pacific Sunwear at my mall. He would rarely be seen without it. The following year, he continued to develop the lore around Sonichu, which included creating an offspring for Rosechu called Rosie, and designing an Archie Comics cover for Sonic the Hedgehog vs. Sonichu. For his mother's 60th birthday, he made her a cake with Sonichu on it. In July, he filmed the City of Quickville tour using the stop-motion feature on his Game Boy camera. The town in question was his yet unfinished Quickville made of Lego. He still hadn't settled on a naming system yet, so he spells it in two different ways. First with an I, then with an I and a K. The tour is led by a Lego incarnation of Christian, and he shows two landmarks of the town: the water tower and go-kart pass, before the video abruptly ends, possibly due to the Game Boy camera only having the capacity to hold 30 frames at a time. In August, Christian got a job at Wendy's. He was mostly in charge of cleaning trays, tables, and carpet tile flooring, keeping the place neat and serving the customers with kind, understanding help.
I don't think it's a good idea to trust Chris Chan with being the one that's in charge of cleaning in your restaurant. Just doesn't seem like a smart idea.
Alleges that he never quite saw eye to eye with his supervisor, who disagreed with Chris's way of operating. According to one supposed event, he got his uniform dirty, and despite it being likely that he could have swapped with a clean spare at the establishment, he proceeded to continue to work with his sullied attire, and even attempted to wash it in the bathroom sink. According to Christian, a female coworker gave him a hard time, pelting him with criticisms and insults, perhaps mistaking her constructive criticisms for attacks against his person. He also admitted he took breaks frequently, neglecting other duties. Chris was fired from...
Dog, you can't do that at fast food. Like, the whole thing is, like, you have to be doing stuff. If you ever worked fast food, you know, like, it's a whole... When you're busy, like, everything has to be go. You can't just stop and just go... I'm not saying anything we don't already know. Never mind.
Wendy's in September or October 2001 for a number of possible reasons. One of the most popular motives for his dismissal was that he performed a Donald Duck impression to a child at the restaurant, bringing him to tears. In other accounts, he said that he was fired after he drew an unflattering caricature of an older female coworker. His termination was likely a culmination of these events. It was also around this time that Chris ended his weekly calls to Kelly. He gave conflicting reasons for this. He first stated that he suffered from noviophobia, a term he coined, which he defines as a fear of speaking to a woman who may already be in a relationship, which convinced him that his calls were in vain. Initially, Chris stated that he was told by his mother that Kelly most likely already had a boyfriend, so he might as well quit his attempts. But later, he changed his story, saying that he came to that realization all by himself.
So did Chris think that when Barb told him to knock it off, leave that girl alone, she already has a gentleman suitor, did Chris take that as Barb was like, no, don't give her attention, give me attention? And his mind just ran with it like, oh. And it's like, gross. I don't know, there's so many weird things that happened that you can look back on now. There's a lot of unsettling shit that happened up until the event. And I'm curious, we know about when Chris told Isabella Janke about it, and the information gets spread. We know when Chris gets arrested and goes to jail, yada, yada, yada. But I'm curious, how many times and for how long was this happening? And granted, it couldn't have been super duper long because Chris couldn't keep his mouth shut for that long. Once he had a new thing that he was doing, that information's coming out. It's just a matter of when. So it couldn't have been for too long. I'm curious, like, I don't know why I'm curious, but Was it like a lot of incidences? Like, I bet it, yeah. Yeah. Like after he did it that first time, he probably got comfortable with it and just, dude, God. Gross. I totally glad I just ruined my own Sunday afternoon. Awesome. Okay, I don't know how. Bill GGBG Pitbull, member for 2 months. I appreciate you, my friend. Love to see it. Love to see it. He was trying to heal her soul. Yep. God, it's crazy that Chris Chan is like one of the most traumatizing things to read about on the internet. We talked about all the websites that we've all seen as kids. Like, we were all there. We all saw the invention of best score. We all know. But Chris was his own thing.
In other retellings, he said that he simply forgot to call her one weekend, and after he broke the routine, he didn't want to continue. On February 24th, 2003, Christian spent a tearful 21st birthday. For some reason, he was kicked out of English class by his male and possibly gay professor. Like many historical accounts of his life, he keeps changing the story. First, he said that the class was reading the book Wednesday's Child, which featured an autistic girl. He recounted that he told the professor that he was autistic as well, which resulted in a misunderstanding and Chris being forced to leave the class. Alternatively, he admitted to causing a disruption in class, writing in a report, exclamations you'd likely hear from a black person in church, which prompted his dismissal from the classroom. This ejection further increased his hate for men and gay men in general, and further convinced him of launching a pursuit to find true love. In order to meet whom he called a boyfriend-free girl, he launched his love quest. However, finding that one special person in his life wasn't going to be easy. Christian didn't feel like he had the confidence to approach women on his own volition, due to the infinitely high boyfriend factor. This term refers to the very high probability that any girl to whom he spoke already had a boyfriend, making it close to impossible to find his coveted boyfriend-free girl. By extension, every man who already had a girlfriend was thought of by Chris with seething loathing. With the infinitely high boyfriend factor, I'm not fond of about 99.9999999999996% of the total male population, with a margin of error of the 4 billionth of a % for about 100 men, of whom are okay acquaintances. Those doofs get all the luck, having a sweetheart to care for and to be cared from, getting all the hugs, kisses and emotional support and the security of a solid future without loneliness and with love and children. And besides that, my autism is not much help on the programming of my mind. Sigh. Oh, my life. To combat his reluctance to approach prospective females, he devised a way in which women would approach him instead. The attraction sign. Christian created what he called an attraction sign, which was much like a personals ad, but in public. 21 and single white male, shy, smart, young at heart.
Single white female, anyone? You guys remember that? Single white male? Dog. Dog. You did this. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Better yet, why would you do this and then let this information get out to the internet? It's bad enough you did it fucking around in, was it Ruckersville, wherever you lived? But you uploaded all this stuff to the internet. That was such a bad idea. Such a bad idea. But I guess that's okay. I mean, it's entertaining for us. So, it is what it is.
Heart, computer skilled, humorous, a great thinker and go-getter, natural salesperson,
A go-getter?
enjoys good parts of life, diplomatic,
The fuck you ever gone and get? You're not a go-getter, Chris.
friendly, loves his family, peaceful, very creative.
Loves his family. Takes that one very seriously. Ew.
He's lonely, seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion. 18 to 21 years of age, does not already have a boyfriend. Single, average to slender weight, body type. White, lives in Charlottesville or Ruckersville area. Does not smoke or drink alcohol. Happy, positive personality. Average high income, drives a vehicle. If any men
Goddamn,
read
Chris.
this huge sign, mind your own business. And to all men with girlfriends, except marrieds and blacks, go jump off a cliff. Have a nice day. He would hang the sign up at the PVCC lobby and would stand or sit beside it in the hopes of attracting potential mates.
Goddamn, Chris.
Based on the attraction sign and later comments, it is clear that instead of finding the love of his life, his quest for a sweetheart was...
How many times a day do you guys think the N-word got dropped in his house? Like the hard R kind. Oh, Jesus Christ.
more of a quest to lose his virginity and to find a woman to mother him and financially support him. Just a couple of months into his love quest,
Dude, his standards were so fucking high. Medium to high, was it medium to high income, must drive your own car, slender, white, say 18 to 21. Like, the fuck? Chris? Bitch, you got fired from Wendy's. There's just so much. There's just so much shit I could say. This really is a turd just shooting for the stars. I can't imagine anybody loving this fucking thing. Anybody willingly starting a relationship with Chris Chan. You're fucking gross. You're gross.
Christian was met with an obstacle. Mary Lee Walsh, the Dean of Student Affairs, tore down his attraction sign and allegedly even tore it up in front of him. According to Chris, she yelled at him in a violent manner and said that his way of doing things would not...
Well, to be fair, she looks scary. Look at her. Look at her. If I've never seen it, if that's not a threatening face, if I've ever seen one. Like, my God, I could see why Chris was scared. It's terrifying. Look at her. She's a sweet old lady. Terrifying.
She yelled at him in a violent manner
Of
and
course
said
she
that
did.
his way of doing things would not get him a girlfriend. It is likely that Walsh may have, in fact, taken down his sign and told him that it was inappropriate, as his methods were akin to soliciting sex on campus. In any case, he was deeply disheartened by this event.
God damn, look how fat he is there. Look. It looks like that titty is an eye, and that titty is an eye, and then it's like his stomach here is smiling. Beep. Got a little belly button for a nose. Boom.
It literally shattered my heart to almost nothing and murdered my soul. In response to this attack,
See, I'm an
Christian
artist.
made another sign, which was quickly removed in a similar fashion. This was to be the beginning of Christian's make-believe conflict with Mary Lee Walsh that will haunt him for most of his adult life.
That's crazy.
As an act of catharsis, Christian wrote a poem called Saddest Heart in the World.
You know what's crazy is all this shit happened in the early 2000s, and it's still just as vivid in his mind today. He's still just as pissed off. He's still just as pissed off at Mary Lee Walsh today as he was the day that that initial interaction, that shit stayed with him forever. She will always piss him off, no matter what. Dude, that's crazy to be mad at someone for that long over them not wanting you to post your stupid, creepy, looking for a girlfriend sign on their college campus. Like, the fuck? You're still mad about it almost 20 years later?
In which he refers to Walsh in the most unkind of light. Lonesome and sad, the mastermind is very bad. In efforts of getting a boyfriend-free gal, that female dog took my only idea for a fall. Heartbroken, sad, and very lonely, I may never remove my virginity. On April 10th, Chris wrote a short story called Sonichu and Rosechu, The Genesis of the Love Hogs. It establishes the origins of Sonichu and Rosechu, and also incorporates elements from the Sonic the Hedgehog lore, such as the Chaos Emeralds. In addition, the story features a lovely Pokemon trainer. Her name was Kel, short for Kelly. He published it on his Sonichu site. In June, Christian found work as a salesperson for Cutco, a cutlery retailer. It is unknown whether he actually managed to sell any knives. Later testimonies prove that he was still in possession of unpurchased stock, holding onto some items more than a decade after he was employed.
Jesus
His
Christ.
tenure ended in August, when his boss left the Charlottesville area. In August, the newly formed band, Christian and the Hedgehog Boys, released their debut album. The band, which was led by Christian, and also featured Sonic, Sonichu, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Black Sonichu.
Dude, this is fucking psycho shit. This is the same level of crazy as having mayoral cabinet with trash cans around your coffee table. That's the fucking level of crazy How did nobody see where this was gonna go? It was like every time we thought he was gonna zig, he zagged us though. I mean, this story is just out there. It almost, if you didn't, if we couldn't prove all this, the shit would sound made up. It would sound made up. We made it 10 minutes through this video. I think it's fair enough to take a quick ripper, or 11 minutes through it. Let's take a ripper. God, there's so much information packed into these videos. You never know what you're going to learn next. And there's just, sometimes it's a brain overload. So let's fix that. Let's get them out, let's get them warm. You guys know what to do. Let's go. Poop, poop. Absolutely, the internet was absolutely like the worst thing he could be let loose on. Zero supervision. That was awful for him. That definitely played a part in everything that he's done, just for the simple fact that he can't leave the internet alone. So I mean, it's definitely affected him for sure. Probably a really bad idea for him to have as much time, like I said, on the internet without any supervision. I mean, not that Bob or Barb would have any fucking clue what he was doing anyways. That's the problem when you have a kid when you're in your, 40s and 50s. You don't know the world that they're living in because the world that you're living in is fucking over and gone, and you're a relic and they're living in completely different times. Like, you're not even close to being connected. I had my son in my late 20s, so yeah, I'm a little out of the loop, but Bob was fucking 50 something and Barb was 40. Like, my mom was old when she had me, but still, I don't know. They were fucking, they wouldn't have a clue what Chris was up to, even if they did watch him on the internet, to be fair. That too, Meow Moo. I like that Meow Moo count by two. That's hard to say. That almost make me want to go meow moo count by two. No, that's definitely his parents telling him he didn't need help. Yeah, that wasn't good either. If you need help, you need help. That's totally fine. There's no shame in needing help. That's the thing with that generation, though, is their pride. Their pride definitely gets in the way of asking for assistance when it's needed. I guess every generation has their thing, but definitely pride. Pride affects older people a lot. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Black Anarchic reacts. I got it. Yeah. Chris is still, I mean, everything he did it. I mean, he did everything that he's done. It's his own fault. But the internet still, it definitely gave him a fucked up perspective of the world for sure. It didn't help. But yeah, he did it all his own. It's his own fault. What he did to Barb, that was all him. Nobody else was in that room with them two. It was just them. Oh God. Just Chris healing his mother. Hard to get through. Okay, we got to get to this video. We got to get to MMA class here shortly. So,
In fact, only existed in Christian's head. The album entirely consisted of Christian singing melody-free vocals with original lyrics over existing songs being played in the background. The songs covered a range of topics, such as his search for love in So Need a Cute Girl, based on I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys.
Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage.
Autism in AUTISM, sung over the Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life.
AUTISM, what does it mean?
And his Spanish skills in the Ricky Martin adaptation La Cocina en la Casa de Casanova.
Estamos divertidos y bailamos con la música chica, sonidas.
Later that year, Chris wrote another poem, Sonichu's Ode to Rosechu, an attempt at depicting the romantic ties binding Sonichu and Rosechu. Oh Rosechu, you are as beautiful as a rose, though a zapbud is the flower that heals your woes. He once again reinstates his idealized views on relationships between men and women. If I evolve into your knight, I will protect you with my lance. Speed makes no difference, though you are slower than I. You dance in the field with such grace and style, sigh. The poem closes with possibly the first utterance of a variant of Christian's commonly used term, sweetheart. Rosie, as often as birds tweet, will you be my lovely heart sweet? In October of 2003, Christian reunited with his childhood friend, Sarah, for her birthday.
is that
For the
Sarah
special
Hammer?
occasion, he made her a present, a hand-drawn comic book detailing the complete history of their life together, entitled Chris plus Sarah's Life Shares. It is from this work of literature that the majority of their interactions with each other has come to be known, including Sarah's supposed childhood bullying, which then 21-year-old Chris completely neglects. Like most of his creative attempts, it is self-centered, bragging about his accomplishments concerning Sonichu.
Oh
He
my
also
God.
talks about her personal life, including her relationship with her boyfriend. As of sometime before July 2000, Sarah has been living with her boyfriend, Wes Isley, a magician who does parties. He closes the book with hope for the future.
The dude's a for real magician? That's sweet, dude. I want to learn magic tricks.
A special note from Christian to Sarah. I hope that we can hang together sometime, but for now and forever, we will always be good friends. To return the sentiment, Sarah decided to spend Christmas with the Chandlers, which delighted Chris.
Oh, why? Why would you do that to yourself? That was a bad idea.
Nintendo.
On November 22nd, 2003, Christian filmed a documentary of his activities in the game Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube, which he then sent to Nintendo for consideration. Chris narrates this hour-long tour of two of his self-made towns, Quickville and Quick City. Since the documentary features a video game player narrating his activities while playing a game, this possibly makes Chris the first ever Let's Player in the modern understanding of the word.
Hello, Nintendo.
That's-
Welcome to my Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube. I am your host. My name is Christian Weston Chandler. I live in Ruckersville, Virginia. And I is 21 years old. And I play because I'm young at heart. So anyway,
Did he just say I is 21 years old? Yep, he did. He
my name
did.
is Christian Weston Chandler. I live in Ruckersville, Virginia. And I is 21 years old. And I play because I'm young at heart. So anyway, we're going to take a tour of my city.
Like everything he produces, it includes Sonichu.
So anyway, stepping out is my character, Sonichu. He's wearing the clothes with the character on it. Like I said, you might remember his face. There's his actual face. You remember the rest of his body, you see the whole picture.
Chris performs a spontaneous rendition of Yellow is a Mellow Color off the Sonic and the Hedgehog Boys album.
Yellow is a mellow color. Yes, it is a mellow color. Sonichu zaps the lightning. And mellow color. Yeah.
He also treats the audience with a performance of So Need a Cute Girl.
Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage. Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age. Tell me why I ain't ever wanna hear you say I have a boyfriend. And that was inspired by a real thing.
He previews the in-game diary that he keeps.
As for a monthly journal entry here in November,
My dreams of getting a girlfriend was crushed by the modeling, or by the metal. Seriously, Chris? Jesus Christ. Meddling Mary Lee Walsh, Kristen Chandler, November 4th, 2003. God, guys, this was 22 years ago. Saddest heart in the world, lonesome and sad, the mastermind is getting... Oh, this is... We heard this earlier. In efforts of getting a boyfriend-free gal, that female dog took on my son for a fall, heartbroken, sad, and very low. This is fucking psycho shit, dude. Remove my virginity. Remove it. Like, what? It's a fucking cracked tooth. Remove my virginity, please. I've never thought, how can I remove my... I don't... Even as a... Jesus Christ, Chris. It makes my brain short circuit. I don't know what to say. Remove my virginity.
yeah, I tried to get a girlfriend because I don't have a girlfriend. But
No
I
shit.
have made up a poem.
No shit.
Let you guys read it.
We could tell you didn't have a girlfriend.
All right. Scroll down a little bit as we go along. It's a very good poem because I am an artist as well as a poet. I make a rhyme every time.
He proceeds to give a tour of his bedroom.
This is my bedroom. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Because I like to make things fun since you know I'm young at heart.
As he unwittingly transfers his hoarding habits into a virtual environment, his bedroom in Animal Crossing closely replicates his real-life counterpart.
Dude.
Chris goes outside and comes across several characters who all seem to run back indoors at the very sight of him.
Around here, I want to show you my favorite character that I kind of got to know it from the start. Oop, she just went in. There's Aunt Cootie. She just went in.
Why are they scared of him?
And there's Elmer. He just went in.
He then travels to his house on Quickville Island to reveal that he mostly uses the property for extra storage.
I use mine as storage for the extra items I don't have room for.
For the extra items? Dog, why enunciate your letters? It's like, for the extra items? Storage for the extra items? What the fuck, dude?
At home.
At home.
Yeah, I got a bunch.
Yeah, I got a bunch. Yeah, I got a bunch. He just kind of slurs it all together as one word. Yeah, I got a bunch. Instead of, yes, I have a bunch. Yeah, I got a bunch. You lazy fuck.
He asserts his brand loyalty for Nintendo and decries their competitors.
Speaking of which, you should make this Sonic Heroes should be Nintendo GameCube exclusive because Xbox and PlayStation 2,
Xbox?
my opinion is the same as yours. They both stink. Yeah, I do not even own them. I don't even want them. That goes double for the PS1 as well. But if you want to know my game systems, I had my GameCube for about almost a year and a half now. Got it on May 31st, 2002. I got your SNES, Nintendo 64, NES. I got the Genesis 301 with the original Genesis, 32X, and Sega CD, as well as Sega Dreamcast, and the Sega Saturn. So I got mostly all of them. I've been a Sonic fan forever, and that's why I'm glad that Sonic came to Nintendo.
He mentions that he likes to keep his surroundings clean by picking weeds.
Oh, we look at this. There's a weed. I pick weeds, keeps my town clean, as well as Quixie.
He also likes to keep active.
Another weed. Why you know about that? I usually like to run. It keeps me going faster. By the way,
He introduced
Why don't you go for a run in the real world, dipshit? How do you really just go for a run in the video game and just cool with it? Like, you could do that in real life. You could actually lay those miles down outside in the real world. But yeah, I guess do it with your controller.
introduces the viewers to his character, Crystal.
anyway, this is Crystal. She's wearing the rose chew look. There's a zap button on the door. I got rose chew's mug right here.
Near the end, Chris proclaims that he is high-functioning autistic.
And to answer the all-important question, what is the meaning of HFA with the two red eyes? I will
no.
tell you. Got that?
Panda, I didn't change anything on my stream settings. If it's not working, I don't know. I don't know why it's not. 'Cause I haven't changed any settings on that. It should be the same as usual. Should be. If it's not, I don't know why it's not. I'm sorry.
That means high functionally autism because that's what I am. I'm functionally autistic. I may have autism,
Dude, you're barely functioning autistic.
but since I'm high functional, I could do a lot of things. I mean, otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this documentary I'm doing right now.
Chris, you barely wipe your own ass. You can't do a lot of things.
But anyway, for the submission of Nintendo Power, this has been a documentary narrated by Christian Weston Chandler.
There you bye.
Thank you very much, and I hope that you will consider this for publication. Bye now.
There you bye.
Christian started 2004 with a New Year's resolution to find a girlfriend. On January 3rd, he drew a Sonichu comic strip, which also featured Rose Chew and Black Sonichu. This was the first time he included his characters in an illustrated storytelling setting. On the 6th, he went to get an eye exam. The optometrist in question happened to be Dr. David Chandler, Chris's brother from Bob's first marriage, who informed him for the first time that he had an 8-year-old niece named Savannah. On January 18th, he wrote Hard Love Quest, a poem
I guess I totally forgot all this too, because this is news to me.
concerning his difficulties in finding a boyfriend-free girl. Without girlfriend love, he feels an older age, as he is still stuck as a virgin with rage. He searched low and high to the end. The only delay is the fear of being already beaten by a boyfriend. On January 31st, Christian wrote in his diary, "Well, it's the end of another month, and I still don't have a girlfriend. Maybe my latest idea, the Sonichu's News Dash newsletter, will make the ladies take notice of me." The newsletter in question was an outlet for Christian's creative ideas concerning Sonichu and his poetry. Issue 1 featured a couple of skits starring Sonichu, the poem Saddest Heart in the World, and a personal ad for himself, which was not unlike his attraction sign. Christian is a very shy and very thoughtful person and will only accept person-to-person encounters. When getting his attention, approach and say hi to him. Do not flirt from a distance. He will not be able to notice. To find Christian, he'll be wearing the Sonichu medallion. In addition to posting a digital copy onto his website, he distributed printed copies of the newsletter around PVCC campus as an alternative to his attraction sign. This must have caught the attention of Mary Lee Walsh, who issued a cease and desist order. In an email dated February 1st, Chris tried to settle out of court. "Mary, I've slept on it, and I've realized that note hanging is not the way to get attention, and I don't really want to meet with either you nor Susan. No offense. I'll tell you what, let's forget the meeting, and if you will allow my newsletter to stay in distribution, I will do all of the following. I will never hang notes on the wall again. I'll consider stopping my silent treatment on Susan. I'll consider knocking you and Susan up my scale of respect, each by 2 points. 0 equals no respect, 10 equals respect." Walsh replied and insisted that they meet the following week. On February 9th, Christian recounted the events of that meeting. "Mary Lee Walsh made it illegal to distribute the news dash. I am very angry at that XXXXX. In response, I plan to incite the masses and hope they demand the return of the news dash so my chances on getting a girlfriend can be restored. I have also declared war on them as well. It was allegedly during this meeting where he performed his Kamehameha attack, which consisted of Chris mimicking the hand motion of an attack move from the anime series Dragon Ball Z and cursing people into experiencing bad luck. However, it is not certain whether he was inspired by the original occurrence of the Kamehameha or its parody featured in another anime, Excel Saga, to which Chris has definitely been exposed. In March, Chris claimed that the kerfuffle concerning Walsh got his parents upset too. That XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh got on my and my parents' nerves. All I'd been doing was trying to get a girlfriend. Is that too much to ask? I am very devastated due to my shattered heart that XXXXX caused unto me. My life sucks. Completely disregarding her demands, he published issue 3 of Sonichu's News Dash, with most of the content themes remaining unaltered. However, his requirements for a boyfriend-free girl were tweaked a little bit. He was now looking for 18 to 22-year-olds, since he had just turned 22 himself. In May of 2004, Nintendo Power magazine published an article highlighting Christian's Animal Crossing video, referring to Chris only as Sonichu. Simply amazing. There's no other way to describe what we've received from Sonichu of Quickville, a full video documentary that walked us through his daily life. His opulent manor contained every manner of furniture. Quickville's landscape was filled to the bursting point with all the animals who'd moved to his well-tended town. And Sonichu has customized everything about his town. Even many villagers have followed his bold trends, wearing the patterns he has created. This apparently got the attention of PVCC's newspaper, The Forum, which featured Christian and Sonichu in an exclusive report. PVCC student Christian Chandler has dedicated many hours to his pastime. He is the creator of Sonichu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon. Like Sonic, Sonichu can run at high speeds. During Supersonic's battle against the perfect Chaos Monster, Sonic Adventure DX for GameCube, Supersonic was spat out by the monster and collided with a bystanding Pikachu, Chandler explained. According to the story, the power from the Chaos Emeralds transformed Pikachu into Sonichu. Chandler and the world he created for Sonichu were featured in the May 2004 issue of Nintendo Power. The place is called Quickville. The Quick prefix are his initials, Christian Weston Chandler. Nintendo Power was apparently impressed with Chandler's work. During all this rigmarole, he continued to publish his news dash, but he updated his personal contact information to include a link to his Match.com profile, which he created to aid in his love quest. It was also around this time that he opened a MySpace account. I enjoy drawing, listening to music, playing video games.
That shows you just how dated this shit is. Do you guys remember having MySpace accounts? Those you old fucks out there? I did. I had one. It was awful. God, the embarrassment. I'm really thankful that I have no idea what email I used to log in, because if I were to get on MySpace and find that page, oh, I'd be so fucking embarrassed. I'm sure it was just a bunch of teen angst, just pissed off at the world. Letting everybody know it, too. The worst music. The ones that had the music that play automatically that you can't even... Oh, these fucking irritate me. If you're listening to something in your earphones or whatever, your headset, and you go to somebody's page and it just starts playing the loudest emo shit, just... And you're like, fuck! It's fucking loud. I'm not being shitty about emo music, just... It's that loud... And I can't stop it, that pisses me off. All of it. Have the moving backgrounds. Make it hard to see stuff. Had to rotate your friends around. I didn't have that many friends, so I didn't have to worry about that. Yeah, customizing your homepage. I mean, some people took that shit really far. Some people took it really far. I remember when Facebook came out, and it was super popular. I remember like when it was like blowing the fuck up. Everyone's like, "Do you have a Facebook? Do you have a Facebook?" Like, no, I don't. And I had one, and No thanks. I'm cool. I'm good. Hey, Trouble One. Glad to see you here, my friend. I appreciate it. And if you gotta go, you gotta go. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, just that was part of the growing up in the early 2000s, being a teenager at that time. It was strange days. The way we chose to express ourselves through our MySpace pages.
Games and TCG. I also like
and our AIM away messages. Because nothing like a mysterious, slightly vague, slightly not vague away message that makes people think, wow, he must really be going through something. Like, fuck, I can't believe I did that shit. Oh. Hate 13-year-old
anime,
me.
Legos, and I love my parents. I also enjoy web design. He proceeds to list all the gaming consoles in his possession, finishing with the Pokemon catchphrase, "Gotta catch 'em all." Interestingly, he listed his occupation as student/cartoonist. He explores his most desperate desires in his blurb. I am a bit shy, but I would enjoy the company of a beautiful girl who likes some of the things I do. I also like to have fun when I can, and I don't really like to be alone. I graduated from high school on the honor roll, and I'm doing very well at PVCC. A lot of men make false promises to their girlfriends, but I am totally different. When it comes to what I can offer, I can seriously promise care, respect, empathy, and love. I think that most girls deserve the world, and I would do my best to give it to them. In May 2004, he attended the Anime Mid-Atlantic Convention for the first time, where he met notable voice actress Monica Rial. She also sings opera very nicely, and she is a very nice, fun, and sweet person to hang around with. She sure made my day a sweet one. In Sonichu's News Dash Issue 5, he introduces 3 new Sonichu characters. Christian Sonichu, based on himself, Wesley Sonichu, his quote-unquote rival, who's based on Sarah Hammer's boyfriend, Wes Isley, and Sarah Hammer Rose Chu, obviously named after Sarah herself. In June, to celebrate the 24-year wedding anniversary of his parents, Chris made them a present, a dramatic retelling of the family's life via Animal Crossing. Through this videographic endeavor, he delves deep into the family's history.
Hi, Mom and Dad. How you doing? This is my little present for y'all. A little documentary for y'all. Here in Animal Crossing, for Nintendo GameCube. About how y'all were, and how you are now, and so forth. So, take a trip back in time with me, won't you? As we explore how each of you were. Of course, first we'll travel back in time to the time of good old Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. He was a hip youngster back in his day. Let's take a look inside his chateau and see what describes him as him. He collects records, and he's got lots of them. He's got so many shelves. You might call him a record case. Yeah.
Chris reveals that Bob has Cherokee ancestry.
He was born in Cherokee in Texas. Actually, he was like 1/16 Cherokee. But that's why we have this totem pole here. This Chinese lion here, that's he's been to Korea for World War II, I believe it was. And he got Conduct Medal of Honor, which that's what this is right here.
He performs the same type of tour for Barbara.
But she went to school, and she worked hard. And see these shirt here, that's her school colors, blue and white, because back in high school, she was a cheerleader. Bum bum, sis boom ba, yay yay, la la la. Hell yeah, she likes the old stuff as well, so she's got a little tea set here. And we got a kitchen, fridge, and a stove. Here's a little fan to keep cool with. Keep food in this little pantry.
Dude, the way he tries to communicate, it makes it so hard to follow him. He says like half a sentence and then kind of repeats it, but changes it, so it's different. I guess you just kind of listen to him like half a sentence at a time. 'Cause he clearly struggles to get what he's thinking out.
And she keeps her brooms and mops in the old closet here. Although somebody brought up the mop, somebody wanted to clean up. You put your garbage in the garbage can. And this is the sad part. In some places now, in very few houses nowadays, what happened in the old days, the bathroom was in the same room as the kitchen. But luckily, we always remember to wash our hands with soap and water. Yeah. Anyway, that's just in the days of old. Nowadays, she does have a private bathroom. Yeah.
Chris explains how his parents first met.
They met over at May's pub, see. Yeah. Mom was just sitting down with her friend. She was watching Bobby sing up here. And well, she really liked his singing, so as father put it, she went up to him and then, as he passed by, changed the thermostat. Yeah. Anyway, she chased him down the hallway and cornered him. And then after that, they just talked things out, and they got to know each other, found common things. Bob, do you take this woman to be your lovely wed wife, to love and hold and cherish and to honor? I do. And do you, Barbara, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and cherish and to honor forever? I do. I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride. Whoopee!
After reenacting their wedding, Christian introduces himself into the picture.
But anyway, when first comes love, then comes marriage, then they come along with their baby carriage, and that's where I came in. Born in February 1982 was me.
He gives himself a tour of his own room.
So anyway, this is my bedroom.
And then returns to Bob's room.
As a little retribution for how things were, we're going to play a little number on the jukebox here. But since we don't have side-by-side on recording, we're going to play Sitting Under the Apple Tree.
He proceeds to let the 1942 song Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree play in full.
The whole thing just plays in full? Psycho shit, dude. It's like serial killer stuff. I'm gonna make you listen to this Apple Tree song while I sit here and cut your ankles off, and then I'm gonna cut your shins in half, and that's scary. Would anybody be surprised if dudes came out that Chris Chan tried to be a serial killer? I don't think he would ever be successful at it because he's fucking fat and slow and weak, but I can see him trying. I made a video shortly after he went to jail, one of my earliest videos, and it was a prediction of where Chris Chan was going to go with this. And I said once he got out of jail, I always thought, and I still think, that at some point when he gets enough alone time with Barb, I don't see it being that far of a stretch for him to not only assault her again, but find a reason to take it all the way, put a pillow over her face or something and hold it on too long while he's doing what he's doing to her and hanging out with her body for a couple of days. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know how the rest of y'all think about it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mentioned something similar like that in the video that I made all those year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Chris did some. We know what he did to his mom already. Would it really be that surprising if he did it and put a pillow over her face and held it on just a little too long? Accidents happen, and Chris is fucking stupid. So, wouldn't surprise me.
And there you have it, nice little blast from the past. And now for my mom and dad, a little something special for this video. This is my way of saying happy anniversary to y'all. Coming up next.
The video cuts to a drawing made with Mario paint, which says, To Mom and Dad, happy anniversary. Thank you both for my birth. Love, Christian C.
Dog, what the fuck? Thank you both for my birth. Clearly, I forgot everything that happened in these early episodes of this shit, because this is fucking crazy. Thank you both for my birth. Let's take a ripper, because I want to try to get that out of my mind. Why would he do that? Why would you do that? Why would you make that? Why would you make that and show that to your parents? Why would you do that and then show it to us on the internet? Let's take a ripper, guys. I need to forget this. Just get them out. Get them. Let's go. Come on. Thank you both for my birth. Why?
In July, Chris began going to the Charlottesville Fashion Square, attraction sign in hand, to seek out fellow mates. Evidently, his current practice did not yield promising results, as in a diary entry dated August 1st, he announced, "Well, it's another month. Still no girlfriend. But I have a new idea that I am sure will reel in a girlfriend on a fateful red string." The idea concerning red string consisted of Christian tying a red string to a paper heart on which "Pick me up and bring me to my owner" was written. The significance of using a red string was most likely a reference to its appearance in the anime Excel Saga, and is a well-known symbol in many Asian cultures. Christian would throw the heart at prospective partners and hope that they would pick up the heart and follow the red string leading back to him. It cannot be determined how successful this strategy could have been, because just 4 days after he employed the red string of fate, a mall security guard, which Chris referred to as a jerk-op, put an end to it. In August, Chris shifted focus away from Pokemon and centered his attention on Yu-Gi-Oh!, a similarly themed card game. He began making his own custom cards and attended his first Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament at the game place, where he met Megan Schroeder. Over the months of getting to know Megan, I grew fond of her.
Did he draw himself as a goddamn virgin with rage card?
Cards and attended his first Yu-Gi-Oh!
Jesus Christ.
Tournament at the game place, where he met Megan Schroeder. Over the months of getting to know Megan, I grew fond of her.
We know you did.
Although at that time, and up to now, she wasn't interested in...
Look at that creepy smile. Look at that. You know exactly what is going through his mind right here, right now. You know she's like, "Oh, do you have to be so close?" Poor girl. I feel bad for her. Chris, you know exactly what he is thinking about right now. You can see it. Fucker.
in a lovely relationship. I've bided to her wishes and requests. I am truly fond of her. Since he and Megan had Yu-Gi-Oh! As a common interest, Christian only intensified his obsession with the game, creating more and more custom Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, with one depicting Crystal, Christian's make-believe female twin. He also designed a girlfriend's gift card, on which the illustrated girlfriend looks suspiciously like the...
I've never thought about having a female twin version of myself. That's crazy. Shouts out to the guy that runs the channel, gifted 10 membership. Shouts out to 10 new members. Love to see it. That makes us at 521, I believe.
sister. On September 4th, Christian reflected on his love quest so far. While I was at the mall for the 8th week today, I realized something. Since I have been using a sign to state my being single and lonesome towards an 18 to 22-year-old boyfriend-free woman, I, in the event, was trying to sell myself like a new car. 2 days later, Chris's love quest was interrupted by a jerk cop. I told that jerk-op off when I pulled some of my fun cards and told my lonesome virgin story, intimidated him, and shouted no into his face. In short, today was my Independence Day, but I am still alone. On September 11th, his search for love took a turn for the worst. I was not bothering anyone at the mall today while I was trying to sell myself when I got arrested for trying. I fortunately did not go to jail, but I have been stripped of my right to go to the mall by myself. I would be required to bring my mom or dad with me. My independence and my soul were practically murdered. Chris's run of misfortune climaxed when only 5 days later, the school board of PVCC suspended him for 1 year. My dad is bloodthirsty for revenge as well. He's going to write to US President George W. Bush Jr. and Laura Bush to help me get allowed back to PVCC. We all cursed to death upon that XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh. In conjunction with his suspension, he was required to take anger management classes, get a psychological evaluation, and receive social skills counseling. 10 days after the event, he lamented over his inability to go to PVCC or the mall, and confessed that he would be asking for a girlfriend this Christmas. Despite his bans from the college and the fashion square, he decided to continue with his search for a boyfriend-free girl, but relocated to the University of Virginia's campus to do so. However, this move wasn't for long, as Christian was allowed back to the fashion square in November. Regardless, he went back to UVA for a different kind of engagement, in the form of a mandatory psychiatric evaluation. There are more of such documented examinations in existence, but this is the only one so far which has been made public. Mr. Chandler says that since finishing high school and starting at PVCC in the year 2000, he has had an increasing interest in a female companion. His attempts at this ultimately led to his suspension from college. His attempt took the form of a sign, which he placed next to himself while sitting in the lobby at Piedmont. This sign was a list of qualifications that a potential girlfriend would have. He said that he has been very frustrated by his inability to find a girlfriend, and he suffers from noviophobia. This refers to his frustration that females often tell him that they already have a boyfriend. While he does have physical attraction towards females, his primary frustration is with his lack of companionship. The report mentions his medical record and earlier evaluations. He has already undergone psychological evaluation by Robin Hawks at the Center of Learning Potential. The recommendation concerning Mr. Chandler's emotional status is that he seek psychiatric and psychological treatment. The psychologist felt that counseling and medication would possibly address his obsessive thought pattern and assist him with social skills. She also recommended anger management training. The analysis also comments on Christian's appearance and demeanor in the session. The patient is a mildly overweight white male, wearing blue jeans and a shirt. He was also wearing a makeshift necklace that has a large plastic medallion in the shape of a Pokemon character's head. He also had a number of shrinky-dink decorations attached to this necklace. He had a large backpack that he carried with him, and had a notebook containing a large number of drawings. His speech was somewhat nasal, with frequent awkward laughing during his sentences. His speech was fluent. His responses were appropriate to the questions posed to him. Overall, the volume of his speech was slightly elevated, although his tone was generally pleasant and almost jovial. His thought processes were linear and logical. He was somewhat concrete, especially regarding social interactions. He seemed to have a good insight into his limitations. The attending physician offers up his final verdict. Folstein's score was 30 out of 30, with his sentence being, "Uncle Spunky is a really funky monkey." Mr. Chandler is a 22-year-old man with a history of developmental delays and autism. Despite these limitations, he seems to have been quite successful in maximizing his academic abilities. He is left, however, with a severe degree of social awkwardness and seems to have good insight into this. He is left feeling somewhat frustrated as he has a strong desire for companionship, although his social limitations prevent him from being able to realize this in the way which he would like. The patient doesn't seem to pose a significant threat to himself or anyone else. After the evaluation, Chris carried on with life, much like before, with neither him nor his parents making any significant effort to change his ways. But Christmas was soon approaching, and maybe Santa would bring him a girlfriend like he wished, who could right all his wrongs and change his life for the better.
My God. Guys, we did it. We got through part 2. Shouts out to Geno Samuel 2.1. We did it. We finished it. Nikki Stanford, shouts out to you. I'm glad that you got a membership. That's legit. Glad it's going to make your day. There's not a whole lot of member videos on my channel. You're going to get the videos a little earlier than when they go out, like Tuesday or Wednesday at 8 a.m. You'll get them the night before. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. I try to do something. And you get some stickers in chat. You get stickers during the live streams and stuff like that. But anyways, guys, we got through it. I got to go. We got martial arts class to get to for my son. But maybe we get to part 3 as early as, I don't know, maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. Because we'll be live a lot more this week. I'll be dropping videos probably 3 to 5 this week. I'm going to shoot for. But guys, again, appreciate you being here. Thank you for getting through episode 2 with me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys really, really soon.